anything that you want to add that you've been itching to talk about and would like to share it.
Well, we brought that in terms of Toridion Finance, which I sort of shelved earlier on. For the last few years, we've been working on doing quite a lot of predictive analytical sort of review of market data, which everybody does, but it's been in the last sort of 8-9 months that we started training these TQNN models on multiple forex pairs, and now we're bringing in social signal and various other stuff, so we can bring in to that neural network about 128 parallel signals. So that could be 128 forex pairs, or it could be 64 forex pairs, 12 news channels, 10 social channels, and other triggers, and we can bring that all into one neural network. And we've trained Toridion Finance on 3 years, or just 3.5 years approximately, of market data. So and then now we're actually put it out there to the test. So it seemed, from my point of view, as a scientist really, or an analytics sort of type person, that there was a lot of sketchy is the best word for it, sort of signal, voodoo going on there. People, we've got signals this, we've got that, we've got the other, and it's like, I couldn't make any head and tail of any of it. It just seemed like a black wall of silence. And so we just said, yeah, well, let's just put it out there. So we did a couple of papers on it. We ripped Ethereum to pieces for about 3 months and did a 3-year sort of back test, a few months in front. And then we moved on to BTC, USD. So at the moment, we've got the model on Bitcoin, US dollars.
Right.
It can take multiple market positions across several forex pairs and other signals, and analyze the market based on about 3.5 years of data in about 0.1 of a second. So the whole idea of that really is about creating transparency. So we're introducing this kind of very open and get kicked in the face if things don't work as well as you think they do sometimes kind of idea. But I think that's what it needs. I just think that crypto is crying out for somebody to say, we haven't got all the answers. This is not a sure thing. But you know what? If you're armed with the right analytics and the right information strategies, right, then it's better than nothing. It's definitely better than nothing,
Yeah.
And we're seeing some real exciting results from that now. So, which is why we got involved with yourselves, because the majority of people in that space are crypto savvy. So we thought, taking a crypto Bitcoin e-commerce model would work very well for us in the future, especially with sort of granular sort of API access and stuff like that. So that's where we're up to now. So I'm going to be focusing on that for the next, for the foreseeable future. We're adding a few more trends in there, and we're hoping the roadmap's going to develop over the next year, maybe adding a forex pair or a new signal in every month, so that people can sort of tailor it the way that they want it, and get very quick back testing, but more importantly, sort of just execute massive predictive analytics that they just wouldn't be able to do on their own models. Easily get their head around it, and so by pre-training some of these systems and then allowing people to merge them together in sort of a Lego fashion, say, well, yeah, I want to do JPY, USD, Euro, GBP, and I want to pull in VIX and FTSE 100, but I'm not interested in that. What's now go to the markets and tell me what you think is going to happen. So we're working on 1 hour windows at the moment. So we're not doing long-term forecasting. We're working on 1 hour spot price predictions, and I'm not sure we have a little meter on our website which gives us a thing. I'll pick up what it's up to at the moment. hopefully it doesn't say 10% or something. Or,
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got, I want to make
yeah,
sure that it's going up right now. So
you've got to be a bit brave. So we're currently running at 82.6% with a
okay,
4.8 to 1 win. So 82.6% over the last 24 hours, which is, is good.
yeah, yeah,
It's good. So we're real pleased with it. We'll just continue to keep developing that model and hopefully educate people in how to use it and bring a little bit of democracy, really, I think, to the bot market. So that's
yeah.
who we're interested in working with bot developers
Okay,
who want to bring, hooking a bot up to the exchange is easy, making it trade is easy, giving it a brain is not so easy.
that's the hard
So
part. Yeah,
so hopefully our predictive analytics will give them a sort of very quick way to bolt out to another service provider and sort of go, this is where I think, what does this think based
yeah,
on, but with a very definable and answerable predictive sort of probability that's not based on just, we know what we're doing. It's open to scrutiny. So
right.
anyone can go on there and see the last 23 hours of predictions rolling out live, and if it's making a jackass of it, it's making a jackass of it. The markets change sometimes, and then we have to, so the training process will go on and it'll only get better, I'm sure. So
Yeah. So then I guess with because you're talking about the 1 hour predictive, what do you see the timeline like? I figure a 1 hour is on average. I mean, yes, Bitcoin can be volatile at times, but generally it isn't that much of a volatile in an hours period. That much of a volatile
yeah,
thing. So, how does that then expand when you're looking at, 24 hours or a week or a month or a year,
we are training the models on longer time periods. There was certainly, in terms of Forex, what the machine learning definitely did show us is that there was that Forex was one of the least influential factors, certainly in crypto terms. Let's just talk
yeah,
about Bitcoin. And so we focused on that, but it did actually wheedle out patterns that were very, very, very subtly buried, such that at the moment, like I say, I think the 24-hour accuracy is running at 82.6% on the hourly spot forecast. So that's some serious going. I think it's 30 to 1 odds or something, crackers.
yeah,
So there is that there. So now we're embarking over the next year really on a constant rolling program of training larger models, wider time frames, different ways for people to tune that model at the API level, and to sort of get what they think that they want from it really. I think that probably the next we'll go for is about 3 to 6 hours, and then
okay,
we'll see where we're there. I'm not wholly convinced that that's going to expand past 6 hours at the moment,
okay,
really, certainly based on just financial instruments. I think we're starting to pull in social signal and stuff like that, because those have got a far bigger
right,
impact, I think. Well, the data shows it. Just everything about the Bitcoin and all Forex markets would lead you to believe it's a random thing. There's just, if you took, we've done it. If you took 10 years of Forex or 3 years of Bitcoin and add up and isolate all the times that it goes up and all the times that it goes down, and then order that into a chart, what you'll actually see is that for, if it was 50,000 hours, for 25,000 hours it went up, and for 25,000 hours it went down. And if you added up the average across both of them, you will probably see that it's not very far from a zero balance. So you're like, wow. So how does something that looks random
yeah,
have a pattern?
yeah,
But, as we find out, when something happens in the news, everything's affected. So if it's affected, that's the definition of not random, because nothing would affect it.
Right.
So the stock market isn't random. The forex market isn't random. It's pseudo-random. It looks random. It's just that the patterns are so deep, so convoluted, that it takes you to look at every single instance of every single, happening, to wheedle out the strong classifiers in the machine learning, and that's what our system is good at. So, yeah, it's all cool.